Again, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. This is the part of our service where we give our comments about the message. And to tell you the truth, Mauricio, I'm telling you, there were so many points. I really recommend that we listen to the message again because there are so many points. I made a short list, just a list of some of the things that you spoke about and that I can see not only in myself, but in other people around me. Like the first one, where you say, too much analysis generates paralysis. We can sometimes overthink a problem and it would absolutely drive us crazy. And then we can't even find a solution because we're too bombarded. And then you said, what if Yaakov didn't get the birthright? Wouldn't he have had the materials and spiritual blessings of his father? Sometimes I wonder in my life, if this didn't happen or if that didn't happen or if I had done this instead of that. God has a way of working things out for us, even when we make the wrong decisions. So that was a beautiful thought. And then you said the blessing was Yaakov himself. It was not outside himself. It was not external. It's inherent to each and every one of us. That is something to think about. And then we all get faced with difficult situations. And I know because I've had that the last 2 months. And we might cry out, why am I going through this test? The medicine will not necessarily be the easiest. And you said God sometimes sends us the biggest fish so we can learn how to fish. These are wonderful expressions, wonderful sayings. And then you said we don't always have to necessarily face the person or the situation head on. We can begin by first using an intermediary. Miriam is my intermediary. When I'm having problems with my family, Miriam, could you do me a favor? Call my daughter. Because we're sometimes too close to the situation and it makes it difficult for us, or there's too much emotion. And then you said, this is a really good one. Communication might have been informative. Sometimes we communicate, but we don't. It's like we know the schedule, but we don't know the feeling of the person, what's going on in their lives. We don't take time to really communicate at a deep level. And that's because we're all so busy. That was a beautiful thought for me. And then you said, when we confront a problem, don't run away from it. Calm down. That's what Yaakov did. He didn't run away this time. Calmed down, took control of the situation. He made a plan. And then it's remembering when we're facing a great test to remember we're not alone. God is with us. We are alone with God. We have to face this test alone. No matter how many people will advise us and give us all the counsel we think, we always end up having to face God alone. And this last one specifically is dealing with something that I've been involved in, which I believe is what made me sick to begin with 2 months ago. When we are looking to reestablish peace with another person, it doesn't necessarily mean we have to be in relationship with this other person. We have to live with them, especially if the personalities are completely incompatible. We need to be wise. We need to know how to have this relationship in our life. So your message, let me tell you, really spoke to my heart. Thank you so much, Mauricia, for that wonderful message.
Yeah, I'd like to add, first of all, you said your summary was right on, and Mauricio, your message was amazing. One of the things I noted here, well, all these processes sometimes, when we do all these things, like we talk about things, but not really how the person really is feeling. We talk about things they've done or whatever. Sometimes we just can't deal with what a real relationship is. So we sometimes make ourselves even believe that these superficial things are really the relationship, but they obviously are not. And sometimes we have to go through a lot of steps before we could really, 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 deal with ourselves in relationship to that other person. I liked what you said about, about becoming unblocked. Also about getting a new name that we all have, that it has nothing to do with being blessed in terms of material things, but the blessing is within us. It's the Spirit of God in us. And what a blessing. And really all of our names, all of those who are seeking and then following in a relationship with the Creator have a new name. It doesn't literally have to mean a new name, but it is a new name. We are not the same person, because a name is not just a label. A name is who we are. So that was really, really, it's really a little, your message was like a chronicle or a journey of our lives. It was very, very special.
And most people don't realize these type of teachings are in the Torah. We think, oh, you have to go to a psychologist to learn these things, or you have to go to, some kind of analyst to, a psychological analyst to learn all these things about ourselves. It's all in the Torah. It's not a religious book. It's a book about life. And I wish that people would really get that understanding.
But the premise, though, reason why people often think that way is because the premise in the Torah is God. And if you don't have that premise in your life, you could read the Torah and just see, okay, this happened and that happened.
Yes.
You're not going to see the fullness. It comes alive in your search for God. To me, it's not. I could hand the book, 100 people could read it, and just see it as an historical account of what happened. So
Right.
really, you can only see it if you have seen that the reality of God.
Yes, your spiritual eyes need to be open.
Right.
That's why he says you have eyes, but you can't see. You have,
Right.
but you can't hear. It's not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing.
Right.
That
Yeah, I liked what you said. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, just a little thing. I liked what you said. Whether he was 97 or not, I don't know, but the idea that at 97 it's not too late to be transformed.
Okay, I believe that some of the things that we need to clarify today is on the message. I wanted to put some of the issues of of, um, of Jacob, because
Some of the
when
issues, did you
the
say?
the ages,
Oh, the
yeah,
ages
the
of,
different
right.
ages, yeah, because it's not that I want to say, oh, that is true, that 97 exactly. Okay, no, the scholars, what they did is they took the time he died and start to say, okay, Joseph was 39 when he was there, so they start to rest the different numbers and then get to some number there that is right now written in this message, but not necessarily is something that is exactly. And I want to be very clear about it, okay? Because we were discussing this week with uh, when Peggy was translating the message into English, because it's like that is not what the Torah says. Yeah, I know, but the point is that sometimes it needed, because prior the message, uh, when you start to read the Torah and don't realize the age of every stage of the life of Jacob, then you lose a little bit of what is going on there. Okay, because yeah, we start to read, and we might think, oh, he was, I don't know, 20 years old when he leaves his home, and then you start to imagine that he's not too old. So then you imagine that he's marrying with these two little girls, the mothers of his sons, when he was a very young man, 30 years probably, or 25 years. And that makes a complete different point of view of what is going on his life. Okay. So I decided to put a little bit of salt and pepper to the message because I wanted to not to it's not really important about to have the exactly time, okay, or exactly age, but the point is to start to think that time is passing between some chapters and some verses, and then we are realizing that it's a whole life of Jacob. His transformation was to become Israel was not an easy process.
Right.
Okay, it took time.
Mm.
Okay, and that is very important because today we are living in a society that wants everything very quick.
Right.
Oh, I don't want go through process. And if a process takes too much time,
Right.
then as people start to say, oh, there's a problem there, you are the problem, or probably God is not hearing you, or then especially when we are like me that are very anxious, that we want everything very quickly, very
Right.
effective, because that is in my mind. Okay, because okay, I for example, why I at the company I want to reduce time in the processes because that makes efficiency,
Right.
that makes productiveness, that makes time to now to focus on other things in the business, and that is right and that is good, but but we need to understand that not all in our life needs to be so.
Right. And it's
Okay.
possible because his grandfather, Abraham, was 100 when he had Isaac and
Yeah.
137 when he had the other children with Keturah. So it's possible.
Or he started his journey in spirituality when he was 75 years old.
And Moses was 80.
Moses was 80,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We can look, for example, like uh, Yehoshua, he was 40 when he started to be with Moshe, and then 80 years when he conquered the promised land.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
so
There's hope
so
for
it
me.
is
Hey.
yeah, yeah, no, I mean, uh, the point is that not necessarily uh, to do something quick is good. And
Right.
I put this, for example, when you are cooking.
Yes.
If you put too much fire on your kitchen and then you start to cook something,
You burn it.
what yeah, you burn it.
Yeah.
It doesn't cook.
Right.
It just burns. And so that's the point, okay, here in the process of God.
Right.
When we want to run and make it, you know, oh, God, I have this problem with, I don't know, with my character because I get angry very easy.
Yes.
That is good. What God will do, He probably will send you persons to make you mad. Okay,
Right.
so and then you the 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 first month you probably say, "Oh, I conquered this," and then comes another test, and then you get mad again, and you said, "Oh, God is not loving me. I cannot change because, 1 month I could just stand good for 1 month, and then I just mess up everything. But the point is, do you think that really God will change you a characteristic in 1 month? Okay, probably not. So
Mm,
because you need to have a process.
right.
But the point is that it takes time. So when I start to write the different age of Jacob, then it was just to for didactical purposes,
Right.
in order that we can see first he was just a kid when they saw the the birth, um, the birth
Birthright.
right. Yeah. So uh, in, 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 in probably at 15 years old, yeah, probably Esau did not comprehend exactly what's going on there. Okay.
And
And
sometimes,
because,
sometimes I feel like a big kid, and I
yeah,
tell myself, you got to grow up, in
yeah,
this, yeah, yeah,
but for Jacob, probably for Esau, that was just you know, a deal, but a tricky deal. You know, yeah, I am hungry right now. I need to eat something. Okay, I'm gonna sell it, but that is just a joke. That is, but for Jacob was not that.
Mhm.
For Jacob was a really something very important
Right.
for him, and he took as truth. Okay, I got a promise from good. Okay, then we start to look in different in different passages. The first one who leaves his home was Esau, but supposedly he leaves. What happened there? We can look that the family had some problems. They wanted to live together. Okay, so one of the problems is that the Torah doesn't say and doesn't affirm that Esau leaves his father home. So he got married. He got married with three different very bad girls, bad decisions. Okay,
No,
and it's
it seems,
interesting.
it seems that he was still home because he was driving his parents crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it says, oh, they start to talk about the first two wives, okay, and
Yeah.
then Esau heard and he said, oh, I need to make a change. But that when you are talking like that, you can see that this family had a really problem of communication. They never said, hey, Esau, why you are choosing to marry these girls? Okay, we don't see nothing like that.
No.
The so that's the problem.
Maybe
Okay,
they
they
were
have
afraid of him too.
yeah, probably they were afraid about him,
Yeah.
but at the end, the point is, or Rivka was like, oh, I want to have my kids here at home. Okay, you don't know exactly.
No.
Probably they have problems of communication because the difference of age between Isaac
Yeah.
and Rivka
Right.
wa- is very clear. Okay,
Right.
so it's, for example, Isaac, I think, right? Can you imagine this picture? Oh, I want to rest right now at my tent. And Rivka, oh, I want to go to the market. Okay. And, and
You're right.
so that's
Right.
something, a
Yeah.
problem. Okay.
Yeah.
And besides of communication. Yeah.
Yes. Moshe is asking a question from chapter 32:24. Who do you think was the man who wrestled with Yaakov that night?
Okay. There's there's some, well, the very first thing is clear that it's a man, because the Torah explicit says ish. Okay, so so in in this case, there are some scholars and some rabbis that says, oh, that was the angel of Esau, and the
Mm,
other ones says that was Esau. Okay,
mm,
and also there's a third interpretation that was Jacob by himself, fighting himself.
mhm,
Okay, so uh, and that is not really clear in the Torah about who was the person. Okay,
mhm,
in especially because it seems that that Jacob wanted to ask him his name. Okay,
mhm,
and that's why the so Rabbi said, oh no, it was an angel, because an angel changed his name when it has a purpose. Okay,
mhm.
so um, but for me, I can tell you, for me, that is Esau. Okay, because what is he's fighting for?
But how could it be Esau when Esau hadn't come yet?
Yeah, because it says he was in the valley of uh, Jacob, Jabok, okay,
The fort of
Jabok,
Yabok?
Jabok,
Yeah.
yeah, but he was alone, okay, that is the very first thing. And then at night, this Ish just come to this man, okay, and they start to fight. Who was there? Only Jacob and this man. Nobody else was there, okay. Yeah, it's supposedly that Esau was coming, okay, to look at him, okay?
Right.
But honestly, it doesn't mean that Esau was there at the camp, okay? Because what he wanted to do with Jacob, to kill him, okay? So, what is better for Esau? To kill him when he's alone. He was a hunter, okay? He could be there to spy. But that's obviously is my point of view. Okay, it's
Because
not
doesn't
that I wanted to say, oh, that is an accepted. Okay,
right. Because doesn't it say afterwards that Jacob took all the cattle and everything that they was going to give him and sent them ahead in droves, and they met Esau. He hadn't come yet.
yeah, but okay, it is the very same thing. Okay, how long took to send the 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 gift to Jacob to Esau? Okay,
How long was,
at
sorry?
least took the time that took to give the gift to Esau. Okay,
Oh,
when you start to think ahead, okay, of, of I don't know, uh, of different animals, then they go very slowly. If
right.
you go with a horse, you can go faster. So he probably could be there in shorter time. Okay, but that's
You mean
um,
he could have left his 400 men, come in on his own, and then gone back.
just to kill is like the very same time. What is, for example, what they are doing when you are a spy. Okay,
You
then
sent and a
there is
scout.
only one man
Yeah.
that that just approach to the man he wants to kill. Okay, he kills, he run away, but it's very easy if you have uh, the capacity to go faster, so you can go there. In why I I I believe that is Esau. because the point is, at the end, Jacob, well, first, when you are with an angel, or you don't know exactly the other person, why you choose these words? Bless me,
Right.
bless me, okay? I will not let you go until you bless me, okay?
Yeah.
Who wanted not to bless Jacob in all this story? Uh, wh- who really doesn't want to? Okay, what was the last words of Esau? I want to kill you. Okay, I will kill. I, when my dad is gone, I'm gonna take vengeance. Okay,
So you think that's why
so
he came with 400 men?
yeah,
Otherwise, he
his
wouldn't.
intention,
His in,
yeah, his intention, and then after this moment, Esau, like a miracle, changed.
interesting,
Okay,
interesting perspective.
okay, and the point is, I don't want to bless you, and then I was defeated, and honestly, Jacob said, I almost, okay, the name was Peniel, right?
Right.
I saw God in his face.
Right.
Okay. Why? Because he was very close to be dead at that moment. Who wanted to look him dead? Esau. Okay. So it was like they were fighting. Okay. But the point is interesting that at the end, his brother, for me, okay, changed his name, okay, to Israel, okay. You are no more Jacob, now you are Israel, and then they can reconciliate, okay. It was it was not a medicine for Jacob only, it was a medicine for Esau too, okay, because God wanted the family, okay, to not hate one each other,
Right.
okay.
Is there a
And at
prophecy?
the end,
Sorry, at
come
the
on.
end. Yeah.
So the God will not do something like uh, we say in Spanish a medias, which means more or less. Okay. But at the end, for me, then when you read the story, you can see that Esau changed also. So how can we explain that a man who was 20 years or more years, okay, you know, like chewing the very same idea in his head. I want to kill my brother. I want to kill my brother. I want to kill my brother. 20 years.
Yeah.
Then look at him and say, oh, I love you. That doesn't
Right.
make sense. And to
No, it
say, oh, no, God changed miraculously his mind,
doesn't
that
say.
is not,
No.
no, they had to fight in some way.
Interesting. Huh.
Then, so, but that is for me.
Right.
But I tell you, there are another. Why I don't say is Esav's a malach, for example. Uh, I wouldn't say that because a malach is a is an angel.
Right.
So he was, you know, fighting, and he was his rest eh, eh, was got hurt,
Mm.
and also why I didn't say, oh, was Jacob himself. Yeah, it could be, but in his mind. But the point is that he had some consequences of this fight. So, but at the end, that is what I conclude. But you are free to think what you want to think. Okay.
The beauty of Torah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good message, Mauricio. Thank you very much. I read once something that is really talks a little bit about the real problem that Israel was facing, and it was, as I'm gonna paraphrase. So when Israel will learn to allow the love of God to be felt, Israel will realize that the love of God is within him, in every pore of his body, where the real divinity, God, hides. Not in just external organizations or religion and ceremonies that try to embody the search for divinity in God and to try to honor him. The truth is that in the other side of the veil, there are not organization or religion, but only the love of family and one for another. The real essence of God. Love in oneness. The beginning of a new paradigm where Israel essence within him becomes a loving essence ready to be activated with compassion and putting away the fear and any overthinking and control, and instead trusting the Ruach, the Spirit, and the Creator.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Mauricio. Thank you, Angel, for that message. Miriam, thank you for your input. Again, I love the Torah. The Torah changes lives. What more can we say? So let us go out, and as Moshe says in Uganda, how do you say, tuli masa masa, let us go out and shine our light for God, and let us accept that the trials that come upon us are for a reason or for a purpose, and that we'll always come out stronger and better. We wrestle with ourselves, we wrestle with our enemies, we wrestle with those around us, but in the end, God will always be victorious. So I want to, yes?
You saw the note that Moshe just wrote?
Yes, probably. He says, I probably think he was an angel of God, because if he was Esau, he wouldn't ask him, who are you, for several times. The man later blessed Yaakov, so probably an angel.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to say something about it. Can you remember what happened when Jacob deceived Isaac?
yes.
What was the words of Isaac? Remember?
I don't
Your
remember.
voice is like Esau. No, your voice is like
Isaac.
Jacob,
Right.
but no, your voice is like Jacob, but your skin is like Esau.
Right.
And he asked like 2 or 3 times the very same words.
True.
Okay, who are you? Okay, he knew was um, Jacob. Okay, that is just to think. It's not saying that it's wrong.
Right.
What is Moshe is writing, and we are free to think about it.
Yeah.
But the point is, remember, Midat Kened Midat. Okay,
Remember who? Bilak and Bilam?
Midat Kened Midat.
Oh, Midat.
Now Jacob is asking him, "Who are you?" Okay,
Interesting.
so when it was night,
Yeah, the
they
no
were
lights.
90, they, they were 97 years old.
Right.
Okay, Isaac had a problem with sight. Who
Right.
knows if some of them could receive genetics from Isaac
Right.
to not see right at night.
Right.
So he probably knew him, but he wanted to confirm because he was not sure. And the other one was hiding his face because he doesn't want to be discovered during the day. Why? Because usually person like South, they don't want to act in front of the light.
Right.
They want to go and hide under the shadows
Right.
just to not sin. And that is what the prophet is saying. It's like, oh, Esau, you are not a very good person.
Right.
You are very happy. But when you are start to look what Obadiah is saying, okay, we don't look at that in the Torah, okay, because it's like Esau presenting himself, I am good, I am a good person, okay, but the prophet later is saying, no, Esau had these kind of problems, okay, so just to think, okay, it, it's like Jacob knew what Esau. That is why he asked him his name, like his father asked him his name when he was deceiving him. Okay,
Interesting.
so
Beautiful. Excellent, as Soraya would say.
I want to mention something that is interesting about the Haftarah today. They were talking about the Sepharad. They will own, well, they will be given, but it's the Negev. We know Beersheba and Eliad, so that was interesting to read that, that um, the Sephardic Jews, they have a spot there that belongs to them too, and yeah, well, that's what I wanted to say. That
Exactly. You see,
Just one
there's a
little
place for
thought.
you.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, Miriam.
Yeah, just one thought without going too much into it. But again, back to Yaakov wrestling with the man, whatever. At one point, when he says, "I want you to bless me," like don't, and you could say, well, he's been blessed before, but how many times has he been blessed? And he said, "Who like to God?" He said, "Bless me." Like after he's been blessed so many times, you can see his doubt all the time. So to me, just this followed in that sort of path that he was asking God to bless him again. I'm not saying the man was God, but I do tend to believe, I'm not sure, that
What do you mean the man was God? What do
no,
you
no, I'm saying the man, Jacob he was always wrestling with God, even after he'd been blessed so many times. To me, this was just another example of his doubt. And the man, that's why to me, I tend to lean, I'm not sure, to the idea that the man was a messenger of God, in the sense maybe an angel or whatever, some messenger, because this time again, he's still wrestling with God. But somehow, anyway, at the end, the man says, like he blesses him. And my feeling is that,
How is it possible for a man to be able to fight an angel and survive?
well, yeah,
I
well,
wouldn't want to fight an angel.
it's simple. You just have to be stubborn, and that is the
or
problem.
a
Number one,
messenger
why?
of God, in the sense that he not a prophet, but anyway, I haven't been clear about it, but I'm not sure it's what I believe on this yet. That just to
Yeah.
add that.
Yeah.
I think that the problem is that sometimes we want like to see the things according to our own construct.
Right.
But sometimes we are so loose in our own ideas and our own minds that we missed everything that God has done for us in our life, in front of our lives. It's
Yeah.
there. But
Yeah.
because you don't see it according to your own intellect or your own mind, it's because we have problems with ourselves sometimes. We don't let the Spirit, show us how it is. As
Yeah.
they call it, that with the eyes of the Creator.
Yeah.
That is the Spirit, through the eyes of the Spirit.
Yeah.
And without that, we miss a lot of things. And thank God that God is very patient with Israel and with our lives sometimes, because it takes one try after another, after another one, until we hit that boom. I said, wait a second,
Yeah.
I see it now, this is
Yeah, how many times you go through a, a path and then one day you realize that something beautiful was there. Probably you go there, I don't know, 400 times.
Yeah.
And then one day you realize, oh, there is this treasure here.
Right.
A-
Yeah.
And that's something that happens to me. You
Yeah.
know, it was an angel, for example, it could be because he was dreaming, but the Torah is not saying that was he was dreaming, okay?
That he was
Uh,
what? Sorry?
he was not dreaming, but it could be an option because he lives alone and probably he just rests and then everything happened in his mind.
Mhm.
That's why people say, "Oh, it was Jacob." Okay, we don't know exactly. Eh, and there is nothing impossible for God. But for me, the point is, okay, when you have your enemy, and I'm gonna put the example because, like the angel said today, Israel, for example, uh, how many right now Israel they were fighting against many enemies at the very same time,
Mhm.
nation, right? And then at the end, one of his enemy asked him, "Hey, please help me. I need help." You know, this man Bashar al-Assad. Okay, and Israel didn't say no, didn't say yes. He just told. Okay, then people start to look at this Bashar. Okay, because it's incredible that the international court is asking uh, to put in jail Netanyahu,
Mm.
and this Bashar is free.
Imagine.
And when you start to see what he was doing, experiments with people, okay,
Yeah.
and he was a very bad man. His fortune comes from selling drugs
Mm.
to all Middle East. Okay,
Mm.
so then, okay, I start to think about these words. Bless me. Okay, what is more important for Israel right now? That their enemies start to bless Israel.
Mhm.
Okay, because at that time gonna they they're gonna have peace. Okay, and I'm not sure. I'm not saying that is not true, but at least what the leader of these Islamic persons they are saying, they said, okay, Israel, we want to live in peace with you. Today in the morning, all the Druze person, Druze, I don't know how to say that in English,
Druze. The Druze.
Druze from Syria asked to Israel to 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 be one nation. Okay, okay. Then Kurdistan is saying, "Oh, we want to live in peace with you." How can you imagine? I know 1 month ago, the Syrian is asking to live in peace with Israel. Okay, so so it's like we are fighting against a person. It, to have a reconciliation with another enemy, it's important that these enemies start doing curse you and start to bless you.
Mhm.
That is very powerful, and is the very same thing about that. When there is a person, for example, you say, "Oh, this person is the corner stone that God has sent me to be a better person," and it's a headache for you. Okay, it's safe to say, "Oh, I hate this person. Oh, I don't feel good with you. I don't want to." For example, if it's a person in your work, for example, a boss, or is a person who works in your same area, start to bless that person. Then you're gonna start to see changes, not in that person, but in you, and then the atmosphere will completely change. Okay,
Mm.
Yeah, but
you know, I had a problem, for example, with a person who I was working. Okay, in every time this person shout me, he wanted to humiliate me. Okay, to say, "Oh, you are a dumb person. You are not good enough." You know, this kind of thing. Then I start to pray for him, and every time I look at him, I start after he was trying to, you know, to put me before my bosses in very bad situation. I start to bless him. I
How?
start to say, "Oh, good day," and smiling, honestly. "Oh, you look very good today. Oh, you know, I was thinking about you today. I gave you right now a candy," and
Mhm.
things like that. Okay. At the beginning, this person did not change. Okay. And every time I returned to home, it was like I was fearing to deal the next day with this person. Okay.
Mhm.
Because I had for job reasons to deal with this person. So, but every day, oh God, help me, put grace in my eyes before in his eyes for me. Help me. And the process just took like 6 months, honestly. Then I started to look at this person that he started to change his mind and his sight and his vocabulary and his emails and his everything, okay, about me, okay. And then he started to joke with me. And then
Mm.
he stopped to humiliating me, okay. And then he started to teach me some things. And
Mm.
then and now we can work together. We are
Wow.
not like Esav and Isaac. We are not, uh, pals, okay? But we are we could have a relation, okay? Healthy relation. So it's like bless me, hey, bless me, and every day bless me, okay? So until he could bless me, and then he changed.
Wow.
And so this is very practical what the
Mhm.
Torah is teaching us. So if you have a problem with another person right now, start to make things like bless me and start to bless that person. That is very powerful.
Mhm.
Okay? Angel, please, I interrupt you.
Oh, that's a very good lesson, Mauricio. I'll sell my gun. I won't kill them instead. Yes, Brian.
The piano is fixed.
The piano is fixed. I didn't know it
Yeah,
wasn't fixed.
how do I know it's fixed?
Which piano? The one in the synagogue?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was anything wrong with it.
Yeah, well, the leg broke and and then we weren't sitting near the piano. And now they fixed
Okay.
it, but it's on a trolley. It's on a three-wheel trolley.
Which piano? So that's you mean the
Piano.
electric piano, not the baby grand.
The grand piano on your right side when you're facing us.
Yeah. That was broken?
Yeah, leg broke
Oh, a
on it.
leg broke.
It was
Okay.
on the floor, the leg broke, and then they made it. We couldn't sit there. They put the table at the front there when you come in,
All right.
but the table's back over there, and it's on a three-wheel trolley.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, I want to wish everybody Shabbat Shalom. You have a wonderful day, the rest of you. Here is what?
Shabbat shalom.
I'm touching your head here.
Mauricio,
Hey.
I think it's -5 here, -5 degrees in Montreal here.
Hey,
Shabbat
Peggy,
shalom, Brian.
I'm touching your head.
Shabbat
Hi,
shalom.
Rhonda.
Shalom.
Hi.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Mauricio.
Have a
Tú
good day.
explicaste
Gracias,
bien.
Mauricio.
Everyone, bye.
Bye.
Bye.